Jimmy and the Elves Hidden in the Tree. In a quiet little neighborhood lived a kind and imaginative boy named Jimmy. He spent every sunny afternoon in his backyard, sitting on the soft grass near his small slide and sandbox. He was always absorbed in a book, completely lost in his own world of stories. Behind him, the massive, ancient tree stood, casting deep, mysterious shadows as the strong sunlight filtered through its leaves. What Jimmy didn't know was that inside the hollow trunk of that great tree lived 3 tiny elves, Xylon, Dara, and Twig. They were slender and twig-like, with long, thin limbs and bright, colorful clothes. Right now, they were tucked close together inside the deep, dark hollow, peeking out secretly, their red, pointy hats contrasting sharply with the shadows as they watched the boy. Every day was the same. Jimmy would read, play with his toys, draw pictures on the grass, and then his mother would call him inside. The elves would watch him go, sighing softly. But they always held their breath in growing excitement, knowing he would return to his favorite spot under the big old tree, ready for another day. Then one afternoon, as Jimmy was looking closely at a small flower, he saw it. A flash of bright color and a tiny, almost invisible movement near the thick, winding tree roots. It was Xylon. The little elf froze instantly, caught completely in a sudden beam of sunlight. Jimmy looked up, amazed and wide-eyed. Xylon looked shy and nervous, highlighted dramatically in the sunbeam. Jimmy stayed very still. He gently smiled, a soft, friendly smile. Slowly, Dara and Twig came out to join Xylon. They were holding tiny gifts, a shiny stone, a colorful leaf, and a small twisted stick. They looked so curious, but now they were smiling back. Their long, thin features and pointy hats were so clear in the afternoon sun. And just like that, they became the best of friends. Jimmy and the elves explored the backyard together. The elves, with their light, twiggy legs, found the small slide perfectly thrilling. They laughed and played chase among the big, colorful flowers, making the whole backyard feel like a magical place of discovery. "We need a home for our friendship," said Dara. Jimmy pointed to the branches of the great tree. "How about a tree house right up there?" Under the old tree, Jimmy drew the rough idea of a house in the dirt with a stick. Xylon and Twig gestured excitedly with their long, thin arms, their eyes sparkling with inspiration. Building the house was an adventure. Jimmy carried small planks and ropes. The elves, with their long, flexible limbs, were the best climbers. Xylon and Dara worked high among the branches, tying knots and hammering tiny nails. The bright colors of their clothes popped against the deep shadows of the tree, and the treehouse began to appear. Soon, their masterpiece was finished. The new treehouse sat beautifully and perfectly among the green branches. Jimmy stood on the platform with Twig, smiling proudly. The sun was beginning to set behind them, casting a deep, warm glow and creating a dramatic, happy moment over their new home. That night, Jimmy snuck back out. He was ready for the treehouse's first story time. Inside, the tiny room was lit by soft lantern lights, casting dramatic, warm shadows. Jimmy sat down with his book while 2 of the elves, Xylon and Dara, gathered around, looking up at him with wide, anticipating eyes. The story was funny, and soon they were all laughing together. Jimmy shared a small cookie he had brought, and the elves showed him the little drawings they had made with charcoal. The night sky glowed with stars outside the window, making the treehouse feel like the coziest, happiest place in the world for a beautiful friendship. When it was very late, it was time to say goodnight. Jimmy stood on the ladder and waved as Xylon, Dara, and Twig climbed quickly back into the hollow of the tree. The treehouse glowed warmly, a magical high-contrast beacon in the dark. Fireflies floated in the air, and Jimmy knew this was just the beginning of their forever friendship.